Okay. Well, if it's a girl, then I'm wrong. If it's a boy, get a haircut. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm not joking.
You know what? Are you still alive?
I am live. Listen, I didn't have the children in the video. All right. Thank you. All right. So, let me see. I got my beautiful twins. Hey, girls.
Hi. Hello.
We are live at the Public Media Network filming the Intervene show.
Okay.
So you could be able to catch the show on YouTube.
Ooh.
You'll be able to catch it on the Public Media Network through their channels. You will be able to stream it. So this is a little tidbit of what the show is going to be about. And we'll just play around with my cameras. Oh, people picking up their babies.
So we should have like a signal when we're gonna pass the.
Okay, well we pass it. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Okay. So, what we came to talk about is I brought my cousins on the show today. Thank you, girls. Y'all are in town visiting us from the Grand to the Rapids. Y'all came back to visit for the summer for a little bit.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, thank you for being here. Turn it to the camera, like so everybody who get to see us. I brought some 20-year olds on the show so they can tell us about their life experiences here in the city of Kalamazoo because we don't talk to the young people enough. Like, we might have these conversations. Love you too. We might have these conversations with young people, but when often do we get a chance to like let them share and express their opinions and their thoughts and their viewpoints from the city of Kalamazoo? So I'm gonna let you all pass me back the camera. I'm gonna turn it to the Jalayna and Jaleah, the identical twins. Yep, it took me like 20 odd years to get it figured out, but I got it now. I'm better.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, like I just gotta look see who's writing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I have to look and see who's right-handed or left-handed. It's a cheat sheet. I need it.
We kind of don't look identical much more. Right.
I don't know, but y'all are. I seen y'all baby pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Arlena, how was your experience in Kalamazoo when you were 20?
You know what? I would like to say I am very proud of you for getting up and speaking at the city commission meeting and telling the people yes, that took courage.
Okay, because I got inspired by my uncle and my cousin. It was just so inspirational. Y'all went up there talking all the truth. All three of y'all. What was that? Third generations? Yeah, we tore it down.
Yeah, that was 3. Yeah.
Just tore it down in the little courtroom.
And yeah, so at the end of the day, that would have made 5 generations of us.
Who else would have went?
I mean, because you got we would have had grandmother, granddaddy.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And then we would have had your grandmother, and then we would have had your mother, and then you guys are you. So is that 4 generations?
That's a whole bunch.
Yeah, we've been in Kalamazoo for a minute. So this is why we be like, listen,
we know better.
Kalamazoo.
And well, at least you had what? I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say because didn't one of the greats have a baby?
Yeah, there are greats that go, but y'all don't have children, so okay.
I don't think so. No,
but yeah, so if we did go out there, there is another generation after that. Yeah. We're not answering the phone. He should have been here.
We couldn't.
He's late.
We couldn't afford it no ways because it's too expensive to live out here.
Oh.
Yeah. No babies for me.
Yeah. It is expensive to be in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, we were talking about how it was for you growing up. Did you always stay in Kalamazoo?
I did not always stay in Kalamazoo. Like I've stayed in Kalamazoo, then I left and I came back. Like I had to get some. Yeah, because I definitely feel like Kalamazoo is one of those places that it was wonderful to grow up in, but there was like some things that I had to find myself. Yeah. And I couldn't find myself being here because everybody who's here kind of like feels like everybody knows you. Like everybody knows your names, like Cheers. Like everybody knows my parents. Everybody know my grandparents. And like so me having to find myself, it was one of the best things I could do by leaving the city and the state of Michigan on a couple different occasions.
Leave the whole state.
I left the whole state a couple times.
It comes to that point, so I'm here.
Yeah, and I was able to like take some of the knowledge that I learned and I brought it back to Kalamazoo. So I feel like I was able to pour back in from a broader perspective. So that was a little helpful because I learned new people. I found my people. Like I found that there is a variety of people who might look like me but are not like me. There's like different layers to it. So you have people who are like hip hop. And then you got people who are like neo soul. Then you got people who are like blues. Then you got people who are like rock hardcore. So you can't just assume that, what I'm saying, you got like a spoken word crowd. Then you got like a gospel crowd. So like music are like people. So you can't always say that you can lump one person in one category because of like their ethnicity or their age or anything like that. So when you go outside of sometimes Kalamazoo, especially, well, not, I'm just gonna say from my experience, yeah, you can kind of, yeah, you can kind of find that. Oh, I found my people. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like your people, you got the b-boy crowd. Like okay, like you can find and realize that there's another 1,000 people that are just like you, so you don't have to feel like you're an individual and no one understands you.
Say going to Grand Rapids, there's a couple of girls that I be having so much related in common with. I'm just like, oh, would have never thought because down here in Kalamazoo, like if I meet a pretty girl in Kalamazoo, it's all about a popularity thing, and they just be really shallow on the inside. But when I went to Grand Rapids, I was meeting my homegirl. She was just like me. She just is goofy. She just is turned up. I don't know. It's so much fun, and then we can actually go out and support each other. Like we hype each other up. You can't really do that in Kalamazoo. Everybody haterish.
I would say growing up in Kalamazoo is quite different from when I'm looking at my little cousins growing up in Kalamazoo right now. It is a drastic change, but I feel like that all has something to do with remember. I remember you when we was growing up with you. You would always say, "Protect your eyes, protect your ears, because what y'all listen to and what y'all watch on television, like television, it's influencing your mind." And I was like,
exposed.
"Yeah, you're right." And that's so crazy that you always say that because I was looking at the controversy of this song that was trending today and with India Ari and Young Miami, and I was like, yeah, this is absolutely the fight that I remember my cousin was talking about. That's why the girl go in your go yard bag, that Miami song.
Spitting it.
Yeah, that's not really what we are trying to get our young people off the streets from looking like YNs and scammers and shooters and whatnot. Y'all got a song to where all my scamming. Come on now, like the girls got to be off the corner too, selling more than just what they selling. Stealing, boosting, putting in your bag.
She said boosting.
Yeah, that's not we're not trying to present that as our people, and it's only our people turning up to it.
Well, we only got so much to do. Like at this point, what do you expect?
We're more than just a turn up crowd. Like it, you know how hard it is to that you have to scroll hard enough on Facebook to find out that some black excellent colleges and boys just graduated in a university, or you know how long you have to scroll to get to that, but you can see a shooting in the quickest, a fight in the next minute. And
when Arlena was running for mayor, a little bit of more of that was popping up on my feed.
yeah, that was really nice. I commended you your bravery with that when you ran for mayor. I saw your stickers all one time. I was like, that's my cousin, y'all. Yep, she on this story.
And just on Facebook, it's a
yeah,
whole
better
bunch
vote
of
for my cousin.
I've never seen before. I was like, okay, because she's gonna keep posting. I know that's right.
I mean, I try to share words of wisdom, you know what I'm saying? I try to drop jewels because I think that there was a time that when my dad was in the hospital when I was in high school. So like my freshman year, my daddy had a stroke. And then my sophomore year, he had prostate cancer. Then my junior year, he had a lung collapse. And then in my senior year, he had another lung collapse. So I spent quite a bit of time at Bronson Hospital. Right. And so I just remember, like, at that time, it really wasn't a lot of social media and different things like that. But I just remember, like, 3, 4 o'clock in the hospital being, like, really bored, like reading books or whatever. But I figure that there is somebody who's going through something at the hospital right now. And if I could send them a prayer, if I could send them some encouragement, if I could send them something to help them to hear something beautiful or see something cute or funny, especially when they're already in the middle of going through something. And that's just why, why I do it, because, and I get people say, thank you for sharing the things that you say. I was going through some things, and people tell me, like, I literally was in the hospital with such and such, and your feeds that you send me were positive, and I really needed that. And I'm like, I try to make you laugh, so I'll show you something funny about a puppy or a kitten, and then
I don't know, they be coming right on time. I'm just like, Arlena, with the
I would like to say,
I guess I needed that.
It's very refreshing to hear these conversations coming from someone who looks as young as us, but you have the old. You really do. No, that's the thing. Like, you look like one of us, but you have the old mind because you already been here. So I'm like, you can really gratefully influence us in the way it was like, oh yeah, this is not the way. We really was not ever like this. We used to really have black excellence and wasn't afraid to show it. This ghetto fabulous was not the trend.
Spring Valley, but that got interrupted by the po.
Yeah, that was very sad. It's sad because when you can't recognize love, if you can't recognize from even a blind person should be able to recognize they're in an area of love. Right. A deaf person should be able to see when they're in an area of love. Like when I do television, they were like, make content where a deaf person can see what's going on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And make content where a blind person can hear what's going on. Like they should be able to use their imagination regardless if they're missing one or have a limitation to one of those tools, that they can still be able to be a part of the conversation. And as a paid professional who's been trained and educated and gone through the academy, they should be able to have recognized what it is when you see people just enjoying themselves, when you see babies and children outside laughing and playing and people like hugging and like, I don't see how you could have seen that and felt like this looks like, you know, danger. Like you have to really have some goggles over your eyes to have not be willing to see what it was. Like it took a lot of extra effort to not recognize, hey, I see people out here, yeah, children are out here laughing and people are out here enjoying themselves. Like, let me go out here and let my ego and let me go out here and be on some, like, I'm tough with some people who are like on some like, hey, peace, man, like you want to, you know what I'm saying, like every
peace, love, chicken grease, we trying to vibe.
Yeah.
And then it came in here storming on our parade.
It's not okay.
But you had this run in with them a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the whole force in general?
I believe that there's a lot of good law enforcement officers out there. And I believe that the hard part is, like they say, it's the few bad ones that make everything worse for everybody else. Like there's some law enforcement officers that are saving lives and saving children and saving babies. Like there was one in Kalamazoo where like he caught a baby from a burning building. I saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like from a house fire. Like let's not ever take away from what our law enforcement officers do. And then when they do come in and save, and when we do need to call 911, because there is a situation, like I don't ever want to take away from that. You know, I live around police officers and different things like that, and I want them to go home to their families every day. I want them to go home to their wife, their kids. That's not the ones that I'm talking about, because they got angels and blessings that's gonna watch over them because they're good people. Amen. You know, but the rest there are a group of people that use their badge and use their uniform in they power trip, and that is you shouldn't have these positions if you are egotistical, if you have a power trip about yourself, if you feel like you want to be a bully, then, and I think that that's not the position to be in. If you can't handle your emotions and you got a gun and you got tasers and you got pepper spray, like you can't go work in the office. You know what I'm saying? Like go push paper, go push paper.
How do you think that you would conduct that?
I think that one, I would be more focused on our community. Like I told the people when I came out and spoke at the meeting, at the city commission meeting, I said, people got to run for these positions. Like, please, 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 young black men, please, 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 young black women, please become police officers. Please become firefighters. Like when I was young, I wanted to be a firefighter. I think that what is the percentage of our police department, our local Kalamazoo citizens? I think that could have avoided a whole lot of this, like make an initiative to say, you know what, we need to have it 80%. At least 60. We got to have at least a higher percent. Yeah.
Hometown people.
Yeah.
Since we all know everyone another. Yeah, that would be. That would be so much better when we come together.
Unbiased.
Yeah, we, you know, and we really got to get there. Like, let's start recruiting young cadets. You know what I'm saying? In middle school, like at least in high school, at least, you know, by sophomore year, like before people catch a criminal record. I know some cities have ROTC where they're kind of already training people to know how to, you know, handle guns, like either. I think they're wooden guns, but they're starting to learn that discipline. You know, they're starting to go through that military training. I think that maybe because Kalamazoo doesn't offer that, maybe encourage that so that we can get more young people who are excited and our police department can be respected. And people are not looking at our police department, oh, they're snitches. No, we just have we position our people in place too. We have some of our local citizens who have grown up to know that we are placing you in position, or you're going to get a good salary, a good pension, a good retirement. You're going to be able to take care of yourself and your family. And for those of them to be able to, like they said, police our own community. You know what I'm saying? So why would we have somebody who have no idea who we are to police us?
So Kalamazoo can protect itself.
It can, because at one point in time, there was a moment where we didn't have like gun violence or murder. There was a time where people left their houses and car doors unlocked. Like that wasn't always a thing up until, I say, I mean, like maybe like the late 1990s, early 2000s, we didn't have this. Like I said, like when Mayor Jones was alive, we didn't have these problems.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah, like we didn't have these problems, and I don't know what the secret to his sauce was. You know, see, like at one point in time, I remember Kalamazoo made the news because we had the most uncorrupt police department.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they were like setting records of like being an uncorrupt department.
They came in here to move here for peace.
And I think at that point in time, like that
to settle down, most definitely,
because Kalamazoo was meant
to rah-rah.
Yeah, Kalamazoo was meant to be a city to be a people. You know, we are like, it's not like we have anything major. It's not like we have the national, Yellowstone Park here. What makes Kalamazoo, you know what I'm saying? There's no Mount Everest here. Like, there's nothing like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
our capital was Lansing.
Yeah, so there's nothing in Kalamazoo, and you can't make it that either. What makes Kalamazoo is the people.
Yeah, if we go to South Haven to go to the beach. No,
thank you. Yeah. Like, if you want to see real water, then you're going to have to go. Yeah, or even if you want to go to like the other beaches, you still got to go out to Portage or out to like
Beach.
Yeah, you have to go. You're gonna have to go out. So still, like to be in the city of Kalamazoo, like all you got is the people. Yeah. So we make the city cool. We make the city. We got the athletes that's coming out going professional. That's Kalamazoo. Something in the water. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's something in.
Put them in the arena, hopefully.
I can't really say that I'm a big fan of the arena. And another thing that I feel about the arena is that maybe I could have got behind it if I felt like a large percentage of our community members were making money from working at the arena. Like
it's that same thing. Every time we rode past over there, I walked past, I was on the bus. There was no people of color really working on that project at all. And I just would like to say, I mean, y'all look at us and when we apply for jobs and we're homeless and we're bums and we're lazy and we don't want to do anything. But look who y'all got working. And quite frank, it'd be 3:00 and I'm like, ain't nobody working over here.
That part.
Ain't nobody working over here at all. I thought they stopped at 5. I didn't know they stopped that early. How long is the lunch break?
Man, or then I seen them working over the holidays. That means they're getting like triple time pay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, they're making like hundreds of dollars an hour. Then they're taking the money out of the city of Kalamazoo.
They could cheat the system, but when we do it,
taking the money out of Kalamazoo.
Because if you got a lot of people who work, say like Atlanta made an initiative that it did like for Black businesses to do the infrastructure and the construction. They like built the airport in Atlanta. Atlanta is like one of the biggest airports in America. So what they did was they made sure they contract local and local Black, which kept the money in the economy in the local community. So when you got people who are from the local community, that means that they're making money in the city and they're spending money in the city versus if you make money in the city and you're like sending money back to your wife and kids in another town, you might, because a lot of times they stay in hotels here, so the money go to the hotels. But imagine if that was going to a homeowner, or imagine if that was going to somebody who like actually had an apartment here, somebody who was like really rooted in Kalamazoo,
who needs the money to stay here.
And then that money goes back into the taxes because now the kids can participate in these activities and these So a lot of the money, because we don't have a large population, you might have a couple, but it really needed to be like at least 60 or 70%. Like I said, I'm not saying we can't have outside. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it has to be all Kalamazoo, because we definitely need diversity. Like, and it makes it more interesting. But to make sure that we have a larger population as an initiative, especially with that amount of money that's being spent amongst there.
Yeah, because it doesn't make no sense when you from Kalamazoo, you got to leave Kalamazoo to make money and then have the potentiality of coming back. But if you be from New York or Chicago and come to Kalamazoo, you got racks already. I don't know how, but you do.
Yeah, and it will make a lot of sense that we can make sure that a lot of those citizens could keep. And I think that I see now that they're trying to put some people on some of these projects. But imagine we have been doing this a couple years ago. Like, homelessness could have fixed itself in a large capacity, because if you can make your own money and take care of your own self. But Kalamazoo, I believe, has a big thing when it comes to grant money. So a lot of times when you got grant money that's being paid to people, that means that they need to maintain a problem they don't want to cure, like cancer. Like if I constantly need this grant money coming in,
I can't say too much about that.
Why? I don't work for no nonprofit organization, so I can say that grant money means that I got to keep a problem. So as long as I keep numbers high to say, you know what, we still haven't resolved this problem, then you create a problem. But imagine if you can resolve the problem, then people, from what I'm telling you, work yourself out of a job. Well, I'm okay with people being able to work themselves out of a job, because that means that's progress. Now we can work on a new project, we can work on something new, we can build something new, we can create a new We can create, there's a new problem that needs to be solved. Let's not just keep reinventing the same wheel over and over again. Like, let's actually solve it. Like, let's lower homelessness by creating jobs.
It's very much cycled behavior in Kalamazoo.
It definitely
is. Wish it would stop. Like, it comes to a point.
Well, they always say history repeats itself.
Like, for that arena, I know we was hating on that. I was trying to give it a little support just in case we might have jobs in there in the near future, or we might be the ones playing.
We didn't have jobs to build it.
I just feel like
that's the biggest money is where is the infrastructure is going to make a lot more money than selling popcorn and hot dogs out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to be the janitor when they could have been
the lowest?
Don't get me wrong. Like, I respect janitorial work. Like, I'm not taking away. But what I'm saying is, are you going to pay that janitor $80 an hour?
No,
the holiday pay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the hot dog concession person or the person who's working a pizza stand in there. Are you going to pay them $80 an hour or triple time, or like you're paying the construction workers?
Exactly.
You know, like
corporate money.
And are they? Yeah. So that so that's where I say, like, what type of jobs are really going to be in there? Is it going to be for like the masses, for the people? Like, you could have hired like 300 people to help build this. It would have been done faster. You'd have taught a trade.
See people working on it every other week.
Right, because we're not just talking about black people all the time. They always want to talk about homeless people being bums. It's some homeless people that are willing to work.
They are like
outside the gas station asking for food. They was like, "I'll pick up your trash if you give me."
They're willing to work for a tent, and that was my issue, because that should have just been like another shelter. Since y'all want to tear it down, like make it bigger, expand on it. Kalamazoo got so much money, y'all sitting here laundering it to y'all people and y'all workers who send it to Thailand and some more. Y'all should have just sat here and hired us. I kind of think that there's a lot of other people in Kalamazoo, and that's kind of messing up our little feng shui. But if we gain control back, like Kalamazooers, we gain control back of the Kalamazoo at least. We'll be able to like run stuff again. You know, not like boot nobody out, but we'll be able to take our control back, because y'all kind of got the game messed up coming from so many other places, thinking that y'all could just do all these things that y'all got kicked out y'all city for.
I really feel like I'm not trying to blame a generation or anything, but our generation is the most easily influenced. We're so sensitive. So it's like
because of that social media. She said right at the 2000s.
So we take everything personally to heart. So because let's say somebody's parents didn't raise them right or whatever, and they voted for Obama, they were Democrats. Just because they don't like their mom, they not finna vote or something like that. And it's a lot of that going on. And I feel like that's a little bit why our voices are not taken seriously. Like, we really don't all come together for the right reasons. Some people come together really just to, what you used to say, we don't lift each other up. We really be holding each other back. What you say? We hold each other down, but we don't lift each other up. And that's be the problem with some of us in our generation. That's why we don't come together as much as we do, as much as we should. I meant.
I heard we die fast. We live short, something like that. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be rushing to the grave. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like, it's a beautiful thing to like live to be 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, grandmother. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see that people lose their life all over the place, but I do think that what make Kalamazoo special is that we can change our city narrative. Yeah. We might not be able to change the narrative of like a New York City, but with the population that we are in Kalamazoo, I believe that our city itself can be a safe place. Like, there's places in certain cities that they're not really worried about some of these things. There's still some towns and some communities where they're still not worried about locking their doors every day. They're still not really worried about, like, they kind of had that hometown feeling. Everybody knows everybody. A lot of people are related. A lot of people have grown up together. Even in Kalamazoo, like, a lot of us are related amongst ourselves. Like, we really have to. Yeah, like, if you. That's why when we get together, you be like, "Oh, I didn't know that you was my cousin. Oh, I didn't know that we was." Yeah, and when you
stop beefing with me on Facebook, maybe you come to a cookout for once, maybe you will realize.
And that's really helpful. I remember the times, like, children will have disagreements, and I'm like, "Oh, I know they mom,
right?
I know they dad." And then all of a sudden, a lot of things can kind of settle down. Like, no, like, that's, y'all be good, like, y'all be good with each other, like, that helps. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily to be in odds with each other, but come on, like, we grew up together, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our children should be friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, our families should be friends, like, so we always were growing up, we just didn't know that. So it does help when we come together as a community for those reasons. Sometimes you only see it in sports events,
right?
But other than that, like, how do you know whose children is who if they're not on the field or on the court? Like, that's the only time we really kind of come together in groups is on the basketball field or the football field. Or the basketball court or the football field.
I appreciate you with running for mayor, because as much bravery as that took, I really like the fact that you really care about our inputs as much as inviting us to this interview and coming to the studio so we could talk about things that's going on in our community and our point of view with our age being, just out here
I just feel
vacationing.
we had that and we watched it slowly fade.
What do you mean?
Everything that you just said, we had community, we had the village, we had everything, and then after us, I feel like after 2005, it just slowly faded down.
Well, I don't want to blame COVID, but after COVID, most definitely was a drastic shift.
I think the COVID did have a big
Back
deal
to
to do
school
with
bash
it.
is not
Yeah.
But before COVID, there was already teachers saying going on strike that they wasn't getting paid enough to deal with all kinds of nonsense that they was dealing with as far as the children.
Well, then we should pay our teachers more then.
Yeah, but it's always about this money for some reason in Kalamazoo.
It's not just Kalamazoo. America is just in debt.
I mean, it's expensive. I mean, it's expensive to live. And I remember one of my favorite teachers, like the reason why he was a teacher because he didn't need the money. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes a difference when you do your job and you don't need the money. One, it helps you to be there because you care and not just a check, because people might be having some personal issues and so their patients might be different. Then I believe that if it's there's always going to be greed, but if you can have a position where people are making a comfortable living, maybe they won't fall for briberies, maybe they won't be coerced as much, maybe they won't, compromise their morals, their ethics, their integrity, their self-worth, their value. Like, why are you sacrificing something that you know is wrong because of the money? Like, what does it say? What is a man or a person to lose? To lose, what's to gain the world and lose your soul? Like, people act like they don't really care about their soul, but they don't know if the things that they do might not haunt them in their 80s. They don't know what the things that they might do might haunt their sleep. They don't know what they might do where it hits them later on because they took a quick. Like, that's always the devil's trick. Like, don't forget that there is a good and there's an evil. People might not believe in spiritual things. I do, but you cannot believe it and still realize that karma gonna catch up with you, or you can say you reap what you sow. Like you can say it in a bunch of different religions. It all boils down. You could be non-religious and believe that it's
different languages.
Yeah, it's gonna still. However you do, you might not realize, but it's going to come back to you. And if you think it might not come back to you, it might be your child or your grandchild or somebody that you love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not untouchable because you hurt somebody else. Like, you will see your deeds are done, and it goes for good too. Like, say I tell people all the time, like, you reap what you sow. But imagine if you sowed good. Right. Like, then you can expect to reap good. Like, you can really anticipate, like, you know what, I've been doing good. I've not because you're looking to expect good, but because if you get in a habit of doing right by people and you get a habit of doing good, then it becomes your personality, becomes your culture, becomes your name, it becomes your reputation, it becomes who you are. Like,
already sincere.
Yeah, just to be that way and know that you're not necessarily expecting anything, but you definitely are rejecting anything negative from coming to you, even though good and bad will happen to everybody. Like, you can't control, you know what I'm saying, if like, you can't control that you're gonna get rained on if you go outside on a rainy day. Like, even though you might be the best person, like, rain will still come on you, even if you didn't do anything and you've helped everybody, you've done all the right things. Like, that's just a part of life.
Yes. Yeah.
But your situation might be that you might go through that, but because you had and you got the blessings and protections of God and angels over you, your situation not gonna be nearly as dire as the person who didn't. You might come out of here and the way you survived it and the way you came out of it is such a beautiful testimony, and somebody else, their situation didn't. And there's some people who are like, feel like they were children and things happened, they were innocent in the process, but you keep being good. I remember one of my the dean of the university had sent me a letter one time, and it was the story about the coffee bean, the egg, and the carrot. And if you don't know the story between the coffee bean, the egg, and the carrot, what it says is that
ones in the back.
For the ones in the back, is that a boiling pot of water. A boiling pot of water, you put an egg in there. A boiling pot of water, you put a carrot in there. A boiling pot of water, you put a coffee in there. So what it said is they took the egg out, they took the carrot out, and they took and then the coffee bean. So inside there, a soft egg became hard.
Yeah.
A hard carrot became soft.
Right.
But the coffee bean changed the water. So it's saying like,
ooh, okay. Right.
The hot water gonna happen to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna how are you gonna deal with it? Is it gonna make you hard? Is you gonna become like, I'm gonna be hard, I don't love, I ain't never gonna love, I'm never hard or are you gonna be like, I was a hard person, now I'm giving up my fight, I'm becoming everything woe is me, I can't, much you care. Or are you gonna be like, I'm gonna change the environment around me. Right. I'm gonna change the water. The water didn't change me. So be the coffee is what the dean told me. Like, Arlena, be the coffee. So
like Kalamazoo is the coffee. Kalamazoo people are the coffee.
We gotta be the coffee.
We was the coffee until other people start coming in trying to be the water. If that makes sense, but Hey.
Oh yeah.
As long as we start taking positions like having people like you should have been mayor, but if not mayor,
because you would have listened to our
treasurer
votes.
or something else. Because not to be funny, but I feel like our money's just going into the trash. Like I love the Boys and Girls Club when it was Edison connected.
What was that?
That was a huge change for me. And the fact I waited so long for that Boys and Girls Club, and I watched the blueprint. I thought it was gonna be bigger. I thought it was gonna be. It's okay, but it just looks like a second school. I don't see a playground in sight. I don't see like adventure for.
I don't see no piece of safety, to be honest.
And it's close next to the railroad. It's right by all kinds of.
That's the most busiest street in Kalamazoo, technically, right there with Portage Road.
Like for $12 million, we didn't get what we asked. We wanted Carl.
That was $12 million.
Yeah, they keep posting about that. We wanted Carl to be on the mural, and they didn't do another mural or anything like that at all. They didn't
little boy.
We didn't even see the logo is right on the front, glowing in the dark. If anybody wants to come,
yeah, do y'all remember?
If anybody wants to come target the Boys and Girls Club, you can target it just like that.
Yeah, that's what's that. Edison neighborhood was the last piece of home, family friendly neighborhood that we had. We had all the cookouts and stuff at Edison neighborhood, that place over there. I don't know what's going on. What's in the water these days? Probably that AI center that we don't want and didn't vote for. And Arlena, you would have spoke up for because whoever our mayor is not listening.
They just sat here and gentrified all of the minorities. So Kalamazoo.
That Family Dollar over there is not Family Dollars anymore.
They took away McDonald's downtown. Like, what's really going on?
Fifth Third Bank then bought out Comerica Bank. Oh, I'm so.
Well, the McDonald's on the east side is gone too.
Like all the dispensaries got heavily taxed. Some of them even, ran out of business.
Yeah, I think Kalamazoo is getting that little dry route thing.
Yeah, they putting their money into
financial dry route because they buying out all the businesses, and I don't know how in the world they doing.
Didn't Big Lots close too?
Yeah.
Like, why are we losing all these places? And
that really
y'all
was
sit
helpful.
Here and get mad that we don't have nothing to do. It's nowhere to go. And if there was anywhere to go, we would have to buy or rent into these places to be at. And that doesn't make any sense because this is our city. We shouldn't really have to pay to parlay in our city.
Just mad at the ones who dumpster diving, mad at the ones who trying to they're throwing all that food away like Sweetwater's. I can't believe they be doing that. Little Caesars, they be trying to get away with doing that too. Like they have all that food and they'll throw it away instead of giving it to the loaves and fishes and stuff like that. I think they do that in grocery stores like Walmart too. The food gonna expire within a week, but they'll throw it away.
Yeah, I think it's not too many people with common sense on
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I wish.
So like Asia has.
Yeah, and that's really why we don't have community. We so stingy and shysty now.
They really use everything. If it's not everything on an animal, it's everything that's coming up to the cut from the cloth. They really use it all. How come we can't use and reduce like recycle things here?
They don't fix the right things. Like we used to have people come all the way from wherever they come from and be like, "Oh yeah, I like Kalamazoo because you can recycle your bottles and you can take them over there." The can distributors be broken every time you go in there nowadays.
Like what's going on with all this?
I don't know. What would you say about that, future mayor?
I think how you threw that in there. There's a couple different things to take into consideration. I agree that Kalamazoo should be like eco-friendly. Like I think that there should be a place for everything. I think that when it comes to a lot of the businesses in Kalamazoo, I myself for probably about 18 years like danced at every event to help you start a business. Everything, oh, there's grant money, oh, they're giving out microloans, oh, they're doing this, doing that. And I complied with everything that they said. And what I found is that I did not get I never qualified. And this isn't me.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't me, saying that I'm supposed to have it, but I also am like, fine if I didn't, but I should see the majority of the people who participated in those
are qualified
should have got some of the money, because I think a lot of people have some amazing idea. Yeah, absolutely, some amazing ideas that their businesses should have gotten these grant monies. What I'm concerned about is who's holding the pen in the checkbook.
Okay.
Who is the people who are in charge? Like I look at the group of in charge and I'm like, I don't see no women in that group.
Ooh. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, in the people or the person who controls it, like I think that there's some really great people on there, but like it would be nice to see a couple ladies that's a part of that decision making.
Yeah.
And I think that people who maybe have held a high political position in Kalamazoo maybe shouldn't hold that, because I feel like that's too much of a control of dangling that carrot over people's heads. Like I stopped participating in business things in Kalamazoo. I have a business, of course, but I stopped participating in those things because I realized that I'm not gonna do all of these things that you're trying to offer me $5,000 for, $3,000 for, $8,000 for. First of all, what? That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really not a word. It's not enough. Like you really. So the rule of thumb is you need to ask for 3 times what you need.
Okay.
You need to ask for 8 years before your first payment is back. So it do, like when you look at how, going through like business training, like that's what it is. And so if you're not agreeing to that, what is $3, $4, $5,000 gonna really do? And you need to be inside of a facility. You got to make payroll. You got to pay insurances. You got to be able to make sure you got equipment. What if something don't, like there's things that you got to take in consideration so that you can make. Yes, and then you want to make sure that all your employees are insured, because that creates a culture of making sure that you can not have a high turnover rate because somebody else is offering insurances and you don't. So these are the things that make sure that like we need to be able to do, and I don't see that enough as far as in our community. And I say that as far as the Black community because I see the Latinos kind of got it. Like I see what they finna do with El Sol. Like there are some things they got some.
They getting it together,
and I'm not mad at them for that. But at the same time, I don't see that same thing happening within the Black community. Like
people don't believe they just did Edison just like that. They knocked down that whole tall building and just cut it something so
beautiful trees. We were also talking about that.
Playgrounds over there.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like they did not consider the children when they made these decisions. Like, did you talk to some mamas? Did you bring some mamas in there? Did you bring?
Just cooking after certain hours. The children wasn't out there for school. You just go out there, kick it. The teams will be out there. We will be out there trying to
talking about community. How it used to be in Kalamazoo. The teachers, we had such a relationship with the teachers where they would just stay after school.
Exactly. You were 18 years old. You could still go visit your teacher if you wanted to, or
your little sister was in the class,
and you didn't seem like a creep or nothing like that. When it was actually genuine, you wanted to go outside to actually still stay be a kid because you're 18 years old.
Teachers looking at you,
18 now. College. Exactly. Now it looks weird. Like
this is your little brother.
You either got a kid or you dress way too. And it's not giving the same energy, the same hope, the inspiration, the motivation. It's just not there.
Oh yeah, everyone is so dismissive. They're like, oh, you're 18, you're here to pick up your little brother, wait in the office. Oh,
like everybody just waiting and just let it all in. I'm just like, okay, where is the life?
Because I was like, my little sister is my old teacher. She's in my old teacher class. They're like, yeah, but you're disturbing students. It's the end of the day, though. Yeah, but we just don't want it to get disorganized. Oh, they used to talk about giving me a job over there and what her brother worked. We don't communicate no more. I don't know. That's why I say I hate to blame COVID, but we was inside for so long, just drained on our phones and whatever. It's like we forgot how to communicate. Everybody just email, call me, text me. It's like, meet me outside.
Yeah, that used to be a thing where everybody like ride their bikes on the sidewalk.
Okay,
amazing. They took the back alleys. The people like knew how to get around.
We
did. Like you have to cut through parking lots and you get around.
Like what? Parking lots to do things. We sitting here making shortcuts. Now it's all of this extra. First of all, I'm not trying to ride my bike next to anybody who's driving in Kalamazoo because y'all getting crashes every other week.
Yeah.
Oh, those bike lanes were definitely not necessary.
That was the most ignorant decision.
That was not
Somebody
necessary.
Just wasting money. Y'all could have just sat here and fixed the roads
or fix the sidewalks.
I think
that instead of adding the bike lanes, utilize the money for the sidewalks because everybody uses a sidewalk. All ages use the sidewalk. Mothers use the sidewalk pushing strollers. You have people who are walking. You have people who are elderly. You have people who are in the little scooters. Like there's all children. Like all age people. It's the sidewalks is for everybody. The bike lanes only for men in spandex shorts. Like that's who they did the bike lanes for. They didn't do the bike lanes for poor people. They didn't do the bike lanes for people who are.
I really don't use those.
No,
I remember them saying that they were gonna do that. All I just seen was that they were making little marks in the road.
I mean, there was some votes about it but the people who showed up and advocated for it.
The people who were supposed to see it didn't see it. They don't really put that out there for us to see. They're not really promoting that.
We don't go to the commission meetings a lot. And if nothing else, if you're not going to go to the commission meetings, watch them. This is
meetings, y'all.
Watch the city commission meetings. See, I do concern myself is when people do voice out their opinion and they're still not heard.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a problem because I think that people are like, oh, we don't care. So this is my call to action. We need to apply for every one of these positions.
Exactly.
Apply for the police department, apply for the fire department, apply for the commissioners, apply for mayor, apply for judges, apply
to apply for mayor. I think you got that solidified in the bag. People need to stop playing with you.
No, she could because soon to be president.
Oh, you know what?
Y'all play too much.
Speak into existence, then it shall happen.
I mean, what I'm saying is that we definitely need to make sure that there's a better representation of the local Kalamazoo citizens who have these positions, who care about the longevity of Kalamazoo, who don't just look at, Bill mentioned the word and I just love it, short-sightedness. Right. Like the things that you're doing is because it's right now, but how by me planting this tree going to impact 3, 4, 5 generations, or how is me tearing down an entire forest going to impact 3, 4, 5 generations? Like we have to make sure that we are building to last. Even when I see the things that are being put up around the city, as much as I want to like them, I don't see the quality put into them. I see that they're putting it up fast, they're putting it up quick. I don't see brick, I don't see mortar, I don't see concrete, I don't see metal, I don't see yards and houses. I don't, and I don't see corporate. And I want to see our community member, men and women, building these things. Like I want to see our local citizens making this money. There's a lot of money that I'm very grateful that the leadership of Kalamazoo has had, because I see that there's a lot of money being put into the city, but like let the money be actually put into the city and stay, versus keeping a position where there is so much financial disparity when you could just offer people jobs. Like there's ways that you can hire, even if people don't have the experience, put them to work anyways. Like, okay, I might not know how to do Teach it them. Because there's some of the best way that people learn sometimes is hands-on experience. And so if you got somebody who has experience with somebody who doesn't have experience, they will learn together. And now looking at the longevity of it, now you got somebody who helped build this house one time. The next house that need to be built, they got a little bit more knowledge than they had before. And by the time they don't build the fourth house, now they teaching somebody else who just getting started. And that's definitely a benefit to our young people, like our young men and women who don't necessarily want to go straight to college.
Maybe like, they can reach out to some places that you won't go to. Maybe they'll reach out to the neighborhood that you won't be in. That's what I think. Like they found you in the parking lot. It cycles it and now you going to the hood and teaching little people. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that.
And I think it makes you proud. I think that I look at my daddy being a construction worker, that like it made me proud. It made him proud that everywhere he drove around to, like, baby, I built Western, I built Bronson Hospital, I built I-94. Then I can say like, oh, my dad built this with his hands. And I was proud of what my father did. Like children should be able to grow up and see what their parents do and be like, I remember there be a time where people could take their children to work with them. And children can see, like be proud of what your parents do. And it shows a child like, this is what your mom and dad is doing every day to provide for you.
Exactly. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're not saying you got to go on the skyscraper that day, but if I'm bringing my child, I want you to. As a little girl, like I see my dad be able to lay concrete. I could lay concrete when I was a young girl, like because it was just certain projects that he could take me on that I could be out there and he could show me his different tools and different things like that. So I know that can go into multiple different careers. I remember, being at work with my aunt, and she worked in an office space, and she'd be like, here, and give me like 200 stacks of stamps, and I would just like seal envelopes for her for hours. But being in that work environment and watching her, even though for that time frame I was just sealing envelopes and just getting that experience. I didn't have to lick them. It was a little wet thing. It just
trying to get them done.
No, because it was perfect. They had to be just right.
This is still like a core memory. This wasn't with child labor, because child labor.
This I didn't have. And then after I did, I could walk around and see all the beautiful things inside the office space. So I wasn't working because I had to be. I was doing it because she brought me to her office, and I was able to see the work that was being done, which helped me to, when I became working in the office, I learned how to have office etiquette. Yes. I learned how to answer a phone properly because I could watch her answer the phone properly. I would see her take notes and different things and when your children are growing up, young people are growing up seeing people in a working environment, who would have thought that I would have, like when my goal was to be a women's basketball coach, I work corporate now. Like I didn't know that I was going to change gears in that capacity.
I like that though. That's an inspirational change.
I mean, that is a coin flip.
The thing is, social media took over, and we always like, oh, we're gonna get dropped to social media. A vlogger this, a streamer that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now it's like everybody's on social media, and just robots are taking over social media. It looks a little bit lazy. Like nothing looks creative. It doesn't look original. It's starting to get very overplayed.
And people who are doing original are very insecure about the work.
But I will say, like your you are the ones who will be like doing the concrete, right? And then put your hand in it or some type of that. Like,
Oh, there's definitely, I definitely wrote Jones and a whole lot of that name is my
favorite. That's what we need, but that's what they don't want us to do.
And I think that's the problem. I definitely feel like a lot of the people who are, I know somebody's making these decisions. And are you making these decisions thinking, are you going home and is your wife saying, hey, honey, I need you to go pick up, because you need to have that balance. You got to have husbands and wives talking to each other, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or that. You got to have that to get two different perspectives. I remember like growing up and I would do stuff and my daddy would say it, but I was just like, as I understood it, like as a man, this is how you, he did it. He'd be like, why don't you just do it this way? Like, oh, that is easier, daddy. But I realized to respect the male's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, or when I'm talking to my significant other, I'll be like, why don't you do it this way? He'd be like, that's a great idea. Like I would have never. So I don't devalue that, you know what, men and women think differently, and we use different sides of our brain of how we process different things, and it's a beautiful thing. Like I'm not going, first of all, I love, I don't see building a building with all women as a construction worker. Like, do you want a 35 story building with an all woman construction crew? I wouldn't say so.
Okay, because we're not going that high.
I mean, and at the end of the day, all the tools that you want, but I remember like trying to undo.
But it won't be me.
Okay, well,
I just even think like, what happens when I see him like twist the screwdriver 3-4 more times than me, or like pull the wrench. Like I was like, I pulled it as tight as I could, and he come behind me like, okay, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to build it. You're only going off my strength. Like
I'm tired,
need you,
grandpa.
Let's be real. Manual labor is manual. Okay?
Yeah, like, hey,
but I will never forget our friend in Job Corps. She's in construction right now.
We could do it, you know.
The ones who do, but I'm just saying I'd rather have.
I want some. Be built for it, though.
Yeah, I want to say that 90% of that crew is all him.
Okay, yeah.
I always give the shout out to the 10% because they have them ladies is doing it.
I mean, come behind. I'm just
not truck drivers and those big old semis.
I'm not knocking that, but even in the semi truck industry, I've had people who say like, this lady would have to be able to pick up 200 pounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She not picking up that 200 pounds. Like let him do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like she can do these. She can do these. Yeah. She can do these loads, but this particular load here is just let him do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like don't take that away from him. Like I am not against a man being a man. Like please, sir.
Yeah.
Do brother. Okay. Man, do you, brother? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never take away from that, and I'm not saying that a lady can't do these jobs, but like let's just be respectful of what it is. Like you said, it's manual. Like use your, like even we're the same height. Like you still got man strength. You get what I'm saying? Like you still.
It was very LGBTQ plus.
I say if we're not gonna do that, at least work together, teamwork. Like we both built the same. Okay, you help me, you get that side, I get this side. Come on, we're gonna drag both of ours in there.
And you will still find that.
Oh, go ahead, Arlena.
I just was saying, like, even for the semi truck, because we got a lady truck driver in our family, and she's like, when women turn the truck, they do it this way.
Right.
When men turn the truck, like, so it's still, even with the end of the day, they was like, lady drivers do it in a different way because that's without even having to talk amongst themselves. Like, it's just a natural way. Like, oh, ladies did it this.
Like,
our common sense is different.
We kind of connect with mother
female intuition.
Mother connects.
It just happened this way.
We just do.
So it didn't matter what you put on that day or didn't put on that day. You still turned that truck like a woman, or you still turned that truck like a man. Like it's just what it is. Yeah, but and nevertheless, the load still got delivered. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying like we should be mature enough to respect each other's differences and be supportive of each other's differences. Like at what age that the boys were supposed to be on this side of the dance and the girls on this side, and now we're like, we're not even gonna meet in the middle. Like that's a very immature mentality when somebody doesn't come to the middle and say, you know what, I want to dance with the boy, I want to dance with the girl. Like, no, we just gonna say separate. No, we not. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy mentality. Like we gotta come together.
It makes them into wanting to be a certain type so they can fit in with other type of groups. Like the one who wants her haircut short, time boyish type of girl, she feel like she have to go be in the group with the boys. And she shouldn't have to feel like
the cliches and cliques categorizing. That's too much going on.
They wanted us to respect, especially when we started growing up. They started just putting stuff in school. You want us to respect, like, your sexual preferences. We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care.
To be honest, like I
the only person
need
who should care
tutoring.
about that is the person that you in the bed with. So the fact that that's in school and that's like
Right,
it's in TV shows and stuff that we Kalamazoo's friendly like that. Are we trying to be like sex trafficked? Like what we getting at being not friendly with that type of exposure? Because I shouldn't have to respect nothing that you do. That should be you and your own thing. I don't feel like that's for the public, and that's very normalized and open in Kalamazoo.
I just feel like that's more of an after school activity. Like y'all put that inside the library when we was in Norks. That was literally inside the library, and I'm like, okay, so where's the tutoring club? Like this is all the way in the open. But
Exactly, literally, they had and I would say they get up with the Mexican club first, or like Black Festival for a week. But the LGBTQ plus they took over a whole month, and it was nasty. It's just too much to see. Like, don't we be happy that you are who you are. That's what Kalamazoo is. Like, just be happy who you is. Kalamazoo is just happy with Kalamazoo, so just be happy with yourself within. The fact that you want to show all this other stuff that shouldn't be shown, that's what I don't like about that community. And I don't like that it's all over the place and that they buy in parks that could be used for other things.
I mean, when I look back at it, we was all how old would you say when we started being in Norks, freshmen in Norks?
About 14, 15.
14, 15. So right, I'm about to be 21 in October. When I look back at it, I just feel like a lot of that activity was just highly inappropriate in school.
It was.
Like, I know a lot of people be like, oh, you can't go too spiritually in depth, but y'all really took Jesus out of school and replaced it with LGBTQ.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. No, and for Kalamazoo to have so much of it to be, oh, we're welcome friendly, this community. How in the hell, like, how
can we say that? Because
I mean, it's said now.
Sorry, how did they just like take over that way? Y'all let them buy the park, but we can't get funding for a better school.
And it's like we're not trying. We don't have anything against these people. Like y'all sexuality is y'all sexuality. Why is that the number one thing when we need to be in here getting better books in the library?
Why is that
we need to be in here since we're not even looking at books anymore. We need to be in here getting better computers in our school. We need to be getting better headphones and better props to do prosthetics exams and hands-on activities in school. We worried about
body parts, because I've had fifth graders at camp
insecurity.
They insecure, thinking that they're supposed to look like my boys think they're supposed to look like Michael B. Jordan, and my girls think they're supposed to look like
Kim Kardashian.
Kim K. Yeah, and that's really ridiculous. That's the stereotypes and that's the standard.
Is like today
because I feel like
or the
if that community would have never came into our Kalamazoo, like okay, cool, do what you do, mind your business, that's fine. If they didn't come so prideful and boastful about it and so exposing with it, we would still be minding our business, making sure that all the kids jumped in the pool. Don't nobody would. It's freaky. Like, I'm not trying to be like that, but that's how exactly they came in. They came in here just exposing a whole bunch of nasty.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
They should have been promoting what you say, like positivity within yourself, positivity on being different. That's fine, but they promoting just mostly, especially in Kalamazoo, it's mostly just a lot to get people human trafficked.
Honestly, and I feel like it's a mockery of our civil rights, to be honest. Like, we asking for equality for all races. Let's stop Asian hate. It's
for women. And then they'll be like, oh, I want trans rights.
Stop abusing women. And then Black Lives Matter. But then as soon as they ask for equal rights, we fighting for more rights for them than we have for ourselves. It's like, okay, congratulations, y'all got the job that we was asking for. Like, how are we supposed to feel?
Yeah, y'all got welcome to be up in here. We just got places
replaced by you guys,
and we can try to go kick it at Spring Valley and be called a bunch of nuances, which is really cold for a bunch of, you know what?
My goodness, like
I just feel like that's not fair. That's not equality. That's not something I want to respect. So
when I was working as a peer educator, what we emphasized was abstinence, and we emphasized, healthy choices, and we emphasized people being able to be proud to be a virgin. Like,
yeah,
like you,
yes,
amen. Like, honestly, like, why is it that we push, sexual things on people when the reality is that once upon a time, like, being able to say, you know what, I choose to abstain, or I choose to not participate was okay. The other thing is, I feel like being prudent is one of those things. Like, at what point in time and what maturity level do you decide to not kiss and tell?
Yeah.
Like, again, is like, can we have some integrity about ourselves and say, even as a young boy, like, it's very distasteful if you tell that you kissed a girl. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at what point in time that now you're bragging about who you are involving yourself with, and it's promoted to the point where like, please, I am available. Like it's almost like prostituting yourself out very much so.
It's not sacred.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be something that husbands and wives don't have to prove this. You just know that there's a new baby born. Like, oh, okay, like you're just
somebody's in a new relationship. Like, oh, y'all just pop out. Period.
So, and I think that then that's okay.
We don't congratulate. We questioning.
You know, like so to feel that so much money needs to go behind this. Yeah. It just is one of those things that I mentioned is this a lot of trust fund money? Mm-hmm. You know, is it a lot of, because the word in the verbiage was queer, and from my understanding that means men. So for a lot of the ladies that are like advocating for this, they didn't say lesbian. Exactly. They said
like, yo, they don't care about us.
They didn't say
get our own rights, ladies.
They didn't say, yeah, like this ladies are right. No, ladies are giving up their rights, and ladies are giving up their fight to advocate for men who have 2 male incomes, which already men tend to make more money than them. Then you look at the fact that the cost of living for a heterosexual couple is less than a 2 male household. So like you're real? Well, because you got 2 men. Women are expensive. Like we have things that we have to maintain. Yeah, we're just expensive just in general.
Don't get anything.
There's no benefits. There's no benefit. Like you give up more, and men retire making more money. Exactly. So you're also giving up your retirement because of this. So you have, and women have not necessarily been training themselves along the way. Not a lot. There may be a few that's been preparing for their retirement beyond just their employer. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when you look at retirement planning, when you look at even this definition of marriage, it's like wealth transfers down, because men tend to live longer than women. So men usually pass their money down to their wives and their children. So that's just the statistics of it. So now if you are deciding to say, you know what, I do not have, now you don't have a man passing down his wealth to you. And who are you going to pass your wealth down to? And who is he going to pass his wealth down to? Is he going to pass his wealth down to his partner? Is she going to pass her wealth down to her partner? Where men usually pass their wealth down to a woman, and then the women usually pass it down to the children along the way. So if you're like not having children, and I'm not saying people or everybody has children, because some people just don't for whatever reason. Right. But when you're looking at wealth transfer, like again, very short-sightedness. And a lot of people who are making these decisions, I'm not thinking that they're thinking about 3, 4, 5 generations down the line, because if you were, why would you be putting so much of your money into these things versus passing money down to your children's children? Because you know that you have no one to pass it down to. Like you're not planning for, so you can get everything you want. And if you have a culture right now who are willing to take the bribes, if you have the culture right now that's willing to give you anything you want because you give me money, and you compromise yourself, like I said, what is it for you to gain the world? Like if you're not caring about children because you don't have children, that's one thing. Right. If you're not caring about women because you don't like women, like be real, like you don't like women. Exactly. So you're not thinking about, well, I like women, I have a wife and she's gonna take maternity because we're looking to have children, a family. She's taking time away from work because we got kids and they gotta go to doctor's appointment. When that's never a priority of yours, nor do you care. And you have the financial means to have 2 male incomes that you can pretty much buy away with these things, where a father is taking care of his wife, his children, and he's thinking about making sure that the household is ran a certain way. Mm-hmm. If that's not even a concern of yours, you are a lot more frivolous with your spending. Yeah. And if somebody accepts the money versus saying, no, I'm not going to take this money. I remember for even this show here, I was offered $1 million in a studio, and it was with the whatever their label is. I don't want to get it wrong, and I'm not going to give it that much energy. Okay. But I said no, because my Black community already has enough trouble. Why would I add that? They're like, well, we're not asking for anything, but you will one day. One of these days, you're going to want to put a flag in my background. One of these days, you're going to want me to vote with you. One of these days, you're going to say, I need you to interview and support this. And if I don't, you're going to say, but we made you. Remember how you got that $1 million? Exactly. And so I said, I refused. I declined it. Yeah, people are like, Arlena, if it was me, I would have took the money. I know that God watches all. Okay. And the blessings that I have that has watched over and protected me, I take that over. And I'll earn my money. Okay. I will earn my money one service at a time. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not how I start, it's how I finish. I will serve and I will earn my money, because it's okay, because the Bible says, be not devalue small and humble beginnings. My beginnings might be small and they might be humble. And it might have been nice to start off with a quick $1 million and get things started. Right. But what would I have sacrificed? What representation would I have showed to my young men and my young women if I would have allowed that to be the case? I don't want my young men to feel like they have to compromise their manhood in order to be financially stable because they have to partner with a man. I want young men to be like, nope, I want a beautiful wife. I want kids. I want that. I want to be this. I want to be a soccer dad. I want to be baseball dad. Like I want. Okay, Bill, thank you. I want young men and young women to grow up to want to have that. Like I don't want that to be that's not cool anymore. That's life. Like we will extinct ourselves and we don't
living life, not living to survive.
Yeah, like I don't want us to extinct ourselves because boys forever got the cuties and girls forever got the cooties. Like I want some point in time that boys like girls because that's a natural order of life. And I'm not gonna say it's not against anybody, but you just have to think about what are you going to do when you're 70, 80 years old? Like, oftentimes, wives take care of their husbands. Right. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men be like, well, what can a woman do for you? What happens when you're 80 years old and she's reminding you that did you take your medication? Did you go to your doctor's appointment? Are you, like, did you eat today? You know what I'm saying? And what are your favorite foods? And when you can't take care of yourself, and I'm only saying it because women tend to live longer than men. And by all means, that's not always the statistic, but I seen it in my own household. Exactly. When my dad was too weak to speak for himself, my mother made sure that everything was still lined up for my daddy until his last days. Okay. There is value in a husband and a wife. And when my father passed along, he made sure that his wife was able to receive the benefits of his hard work because that's what a legacy is about. Woo. We got to get people to start really evaluating and appreciating what legacy is, where his children and his grandchildren can still live off the benefits of his hard work. He bought a home. He did, said he was a role model. Mm-hmm. He taught us integrity, morals, values, respect. He said sometimes the hardest things you'll ever have to do in life is the right thing. Right. Some people wouldn't necessarily taught that, so they take the easy route. Exactly. But you might be easy right now, but daddy always says it's easy to get in trouble, hard to get out of it. Yeah. So trying to do things is not going to get you in trouble, and trying to do things is not going to get you a bad reputation. People don't even care about their reputations anymore. It's going out. Yeah, and one thing you can say is when you in that grave, what's your reputation going to be? Either you young in the grave or old in the grave. One day we inevitably all going to see that grave. I want to make a change, not just because there was no money. And that needs to be the motivation of it. And I think that I emphasized that when we were at the commission meeting, that making sure that we do what we knew, not just for the money. And like I said, and I want people to make a fair living. Like that's what I do for a living. Like, hey, I would make you a millionaire. It don't take but a couple clicks and I can make you a very, very, very wealthy person. I can make you, it's not that I can make you a very wealthy person. I can provide you resources that can make yourself a very wealthy person. Money grows slowly. Like fast money is usually a trick behind it. Okay. Wow. Real money, it tends to take compound interest in many years. That's why inheritance and I speak about reparations and all those things. Like it's just because we need it. Hundreds of years of compound interest will help you to be where we should be today. So people pick with the Black community because our money has been stolen from us. Exactly. We wouldn't be treated the way we do, especially in a capitalistic society, if we had the money that we were supposed to have, because we would have some of the greatest wealth in Kalamazoo. Let us get the greatest wealth in America.
We would teach y'all how to pass it back.
We wouldn't be harassed.
Y'all would never see us if we got our own stuff back like we had back then. We got our own block again without y'all trying to triple K, burn it down, or MAGA trying to tear it up. Because we got our own stuff again, we will be able to function quietly, heavenly, peacefully.
They picked the sellouts because if we had our money, we would have had our reparations and passed down with our wealth and our family generation.
We would have been able to make Kalamazoo
rich generation
states by now.
I said we wouldn't have no nepo babies. If we had nepo babies, they wouldn't be nepo brats like these kids are.
Exactly.
I mean, it would imagine a world if everybody had their $200 million. Mm-hmm. Like every Black, so imagine every Black person 55 and older all had $200 million. That's what wealth is. There's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. And being wealthy means that everybody has it, because everybody knows you have $2 million, what you do? Oh, I'm gonna help such. Okay, but they already got it too. So now all you can do is put your money together. You know what I'm saying? That's why other communities can expand. Other communities can do group economics. Technically, as much money as the Black community has, we still are at the lowest income brackets. We don't own businesses. That's why Kalamazoo, when we speak about years ago, Black people had businesses.
We so high. We ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, right. Where Black people own businesses. So the businesses that they own, even if it was like nightclubs and different things like that, there was so many different places that people could have money versus just like, you're not going to give it to me because you don't like me. That's not business. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't business. This isn't personal. This is business. Like, I could not like you and still do business with you. Exactly. Like, and it needs to be that. Like, I don't like me if you don't want to, but is this a good business transaction? And it's they talking about money, girl. It's talking about who do you get in bed with when you do business? And what they're saying is like, are you in business with somebody who's honest, fair, truthful, or are you in business with somebody who do scheme, scam, cut corners? Like that's when you got to decide who you do business with. So a lot of the things that Kalamazoo had, and some of them were ran and owned by white people, but black people were. It didn't exclude us. Like now you see a lot of places downtown is beer.
Yeah.
Black people don't tend to drink a lot of beer. Like everything that you see, yeah, like a lot of things that you see is very catered to the Caucasians. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. I can't, like they always say brown, but I don't know what they do. Like they seem like they do their own thing. And I think they also have monies that is specifically, I've gone to a lot of um what do they call it? Like when it comes to like international businesses, when it comes to their group, they have monies for them. They have like the Latino Chamber of Commerce, they have the Indian Chamber of Commerce. They have theirs. Then when it comes to black people, they have like Africans. Like when it comes to black people, then it becomes minority. That means that they can get that, for example, they can go to the Latino Chamber of Commerce and get money, and then they can come to the minority Chamber of Commerce, and so that's double indemnity. Like you got it twice, but I can't be as a black person go get Latino. Yeah, so
I classified everybody as minorities because they weren't making so much because y'all push people out. So but we ourselves as Black Americans who built this, who won this, we don't get nothing. Brick and that's by brick. Shame because the least y'all could do, we don't even get the free education in here. If we go to college right now, it's still going to be taxing on the property or where you staying now, or it's going to be taxing on your
student loans.
After you said that you got free education, you got to work the extra mile. Like we got the 40 acres plus 2 mills. We got to do too much.
I mean, and even when it comes
to have or stuff that we should already just be like getting evenly.
When it came to you all education, I think even before COVID was a lot of your extracurricular activities were moved from school. Ooh, like I remember that basketball was available in track was available to 6th graders, 5th and 6th graders.
Yep. See,
and so right, and so you all didn't even have access and exposure to those type of sports until you were like 7th or 8th grade. Basically. And then you guys had a middle school change where they moved elementary from 6th grade to now you put 6th graders with 7th graders and 8th graders where, excuse me, when I was in elementary school, 6th graders were still considered elementary, and yet they could participate in sports. And so you put children in a school where they can't even participate unless they play for an outside league, which excludes a lot of families because not everybody has the money to participate in those leagues. You know, and so then or they got to apply for scholarships, and then you got to have the shoe, you have to have transportation, and that makes it very hard. Where if it was involved in the school, it was a lot more easier because the children were already at school, after school, and could make other arrangements. And it took a lot of the other extracurricular activities out of the schools for you all too. And that's kind of how you learn what you like. That was one of the best things that I did love about the Boys and Girls Club, because I threw everything at the wall, and certain things still stick. Like I remember you mentioned to me that they don't have the theater anymore. Like I did theater, you know, see, like
we was on that stage.
Yeah, we did things on the stage. Like, and if you took that away, you're taking away a group of talent.
Yeah, they have art class, guitar class, music group.
It just feels like structure. Let's go from school, jump straight back into school.
And then there's no outdoors. You need to get fresh air. You need green space. You need to get yeah, I remember that kids could go outside and play baseball. They could play kickball. They would have water balloons fights. They could go outside and do like outdoor activity. They had field days. Like now, Sundays, yeah, remember they would have hay rides, and when the banana ride or whatever. I don't all of those things, all of the things like even in the parking, the things in the parking lot even used to be at the Boys and Girls Club, like during like festival season. Like that allowed that street where they had the horse rides and the pumpkin, and they would have like games and activities, and they had the outdoor basketball court. So they're taking away a lot of things. The tennis courts are taking away, like you see like the plans, and they're taking away things from our youth. Tennis, I didn't know much about tennis until probably a few years ago. I found that I really love tennis, especially for Black students, Black children, because it has the most, this has the most scholarships to make up for what people are not playing in football. Plus, tennis is an international sport, so you can play tennis and see the world. You go all around the world, and they still make great money playing tennis that they would versus potentially getting a head injury from football or torn ACL, you know. Not saying that tennis don't have some injuries, but it's different when you got full contact injuries. Then you look at what tennis can provide as far as like, there's politics, but there's less politics, and we should be able to just put rackets in kids' hands. Because if you go out there and you can hit the ball, then you just move up on your own. There are still politics in it, but you know, it's not like, oh, my coach, you know, my coach favored this person more than them.
Right.
If I get out there and win, you don't have to like me. I earn my spot. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it takes away a lot of that. So I like that. I like that. That was one of the things I like about track, because sometimes it's just you and a dash. You know what I'm saying? It's just you on your field. Like they can't really interfere with that very much.
Your skills.
Yeah, but I like that there's a career with tennis. Like there's not a, I don't know, I guess people are making money in track now, but back when I was, unless you go to the Olympics, I didn't really see a whole.
Right. It's still gonna be really some
Olympics. I would say
some fast.
So there's like still to get you an opportunity to get an education. So I want to see tennis courts in Black neighborhoods. I want to see basketball courts in Black neighborhoods. I want to see tracks. I don't see the track. I want to see baseball fields in Black neighborhoods. Baseball is an all-American sport. Why are we taking away our baseball fields? Why are we taking away things that our young children, dads and moms, get out there and play baseball with your kids? Throw them a ball.
For baseball, we don't even see a lot of brown people, Black and brown, but Black people playing baseball no more.
Especially not Black Americans. You see like Latinos from like Spain or like South America playing baseball. You don't hear them until they talk. You would think that they were Black, and you'd be like, oh, they don't speak English, you know. So, but you and I do love when I see families who do that. Like you see it in the South. You see it when you go down South. You see families still very family orientated, and we should not devalue what a family orientated community is, because that is our future. Because they're going to take care of us. Like every generation takes care of the next. Like we supposed to take care of our moms, our dads. They took care of us. We take care of our grandparents and the next generation.
It's supposed to be a beautiful cycle.
And we should never get away from the value of that, because somebody else just so happens to have been born into a lot of money that they didn't work hard for. And because they have and because whatever reason they were like, they can say, I can write this check. You do what I say. That should not be how we run our cities. That shouldn't be how we run our country.
I'm sure that's not Kalamazoo doing that. That got to be somebody else.
I mean, I don't know, but
Michigan's capital.
Who's taking the money? You know what I'm saying? If you're taking the money and you're saying, yep, like you mentioned about the park, okay, I'll take the $3.6 million and I'll let you do whatever you want to do to the park. You're going to paint it with rainbows. You're going to have, and you're going to keep it closed off for everybody. Well, the rest of,
not a part of that community.
Yeah. So the rest of us.
Really sick. Like I gotta be. Mind you, I just want to be a kid. I just want to be 5 years old. But I have to be a gay or trans or lesbian to be on that park. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, what type of?
Because why else would they buy
that park? It
doesn't make no sense. Like you bought a whole designated area, and y'all can be freely more so anywhere now. I mean, like ever since Obama ended them rights, y'all can just pop out anywhere. Y'all take over anything. So to buy a whole designated area, that could have been for any and everybody else, but anything else.
And especially when the community as a whole said they didn't want the money. They don't want money spent on rebuilding the park.
That's
like what was wrong with the park? There was like water spouts that came up that children could play with when it was hot outside.
Right.
Like people, nice. Like there was time and to close it off. Like they were complaining about the unhoused population of people. Like leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Help them or leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like what were they really hurting the park? No. Would you want to be in the situation that you are allowing people to be in? Do unto others as you have others to do unto you, like the golden rule. If you were unhoused or if you were in any of these people's situation, what would you want? Would you want adequate health care? Would you want adequate employment? Would you want to be in a clean house and in a clean bed? Right. Would you want to be able to go in your own refrigerator and fix your own food? Would you want to be able to have heat and utilities? Like if we started treating people the way we would want to be treated, it wouldn't be that hard. No one is mistreating the community that is claiming that they're being mistreated so bad. No one's even really paying them any attention. It's like, pay me, notice me. Like those are whatever childhood traumas you have, whatever amount of love that you were not given as
attention seeking, you must
don't take that out on us because we got enough struggles.
Care less for it.
Yeah, and we should be more focused on making sure that if somebody who has maybe fallen down on their luck or maybe is having a hard time, even if it's drugs or whatever, like still treat people with dignity and respect and help people. If you're not going to help them, don't just try to capitalize off of their stress. Don't try to capitalize off of their disparity. Don't try to capitalize off of their misery. Like, they don't have what they need right now. Transportation is sometimes barriers. People have struggled being able to get on the computer, be able to do applications online. Yes. Not everybody has a job, a bank account where they can have a paycheck coming to them, to have direct deposit. Like there are barriers that makes it sometimes hard to navigate these situations. And if you are already stressed out and you are already struggling, help, and not just make a business for yourself to help. Offer, that's because a lot of people who really do help do it for free. Okay. Like the people who are doing the most help, they not asking for no paycheck. They just driving their own gas, helping people out of the kindness of their heart. Like if anything, we should definitely help those people like Sonia Espinoza. Like I'm gonna give her a shout out because I know that like her and her community, they out there helping people, and they not necessarily, I don't think that they out here getting the grant money, where there are people who are getting grant money, and I'm not naming no names because I don't know where the money is all going. And this isn't me just throwing shade. I'm just saying I work nonprofit long enough to know the difference between nonprofit and for profit. And the thing that was told to me is if we fix these things, we work ourselves out of a job. I believe that we should fix them. Where for profit, if you do the right thing, you just get promoted. Like the promotion, that's why I was like, you know what? So you're gonna not help people to make money so that you keep reapplying for grant money, exactly. Or you can help people, or you could just make money and be like, this is a great business idea, I'm gonna reward you for it. I think that's a better incentive.
See how we can go further on.
Yeah, because that's a for-profit mentality versus a not-for-profit. And it sounds good. This is a not-for-profit. It has some changes too. You know, Puppet Media Network has had some changes. We used to be in a big studio. We in a little studio now. Like it's had some changes. That's okay.
That's when they come to the conclusion of, especially my people, they don't study of who we should vote for and what time to vote.
Yeah, we do. We got to get in there. We got to be more proactive. Knowledge is power. Yep. We got to put some energy towards not just, you know, like you said, the latest TikTok dance. We really need to pay attention because it'd be to our detriment. Mm-hmm. You know, we have to be involved. I see a couple people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna run for mayor." Please do. Yeah. Please run for mayor. Please run for commissioners. Please run for these positions. Like, go ahead. Like,
more judges.
Yeah,
more police officers.
Yeah, it's scary. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Like, it feels like, oh my God, I'm putting myself. Do it because if not you, then who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You better off doing things with a good heart and good intentions, and potentially making a little bit of bad mistakes, making an error, versus people who know what they're doing and intentionally not doing the right thing. Exactly. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus with that. I'm just simply saying that
some people.
If Spirit Airlines went down, that's employment available is what I heard. Black people make the planes.
Yeah, because I worked in insurance for a company that they made one bolt for the Boeing airplane. And like boat? They just did. It was like one particular boat that the tool and die company made. And I was like, how much? I looked at their portfolio of how much money they were making for this one boat. For this one boat, I think it was like maybe 12 guys who worked in there. One of the gentlemen who owned it was like only had one hand, and he owned it. It was just interesting when you shake somebody's hand and that particular hand is not there. I didn't ask no questions, but I'm like, I seen what his numbers was and how much he's producing, and I know that the money comes for his business is because he makes a particular boat, you know, for the Boeing airplane. And I was just like, oh my goodness, why don't we know about this type of stuff? Like I had no idea. I'm like back in the middle of the country in the cut. My map, I'm like, it can't be this little factory. This little factory is making multiple millions of dollars a year. Who would have thought? And these are the things that I'm like, come on, we can do this, but we just don't have the exposure to it. And people, and he probably, and that business might have been passed down from his dad to his son, mm-hmm. And he gonna pass it to his son. Yup, and that's sometimes, and they probably hired all their friends. We don't have that.
Right.
And that's why the reparations is important, so that we can get into that. And a lot of these businesses that I see that are for sale, that we can afford to buy them without being in a position where we can buy these businesses, where we're not having to have that carrot dangle over our head to say, hey, you got to be my friend in order for me to give you this money, or you have to vote with the way I want you to vote in order for me to give you this money, because that becomes coercion. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, blink 2 times if they're threatening you. Like, listen, can I just get the money to do what I need to do? And don't tell me if I'm going to make a mistake with it, because everybody has room and grace to be able to make mistakes. And the thing about it is, when some of the people do get the money, don't let the first thing you do is take a vacation. Like, really sit down and like plan these things out. Take the money, pay the salaries, get the insurances, make sure you got the best equipment that you can, you know, that money can buy. If you have to lease the equipment, like, do things the adequate way. Like, do business the way business is supposed to be done. And then after 2 or 3 years in business, and then maybe you can go ahead and give yourself a vacation. You might have been, like actually live off of your salary that you said you were going to pay yourself for.
Because that all it is vacation. It ain't like you're about to travel with that money.
And then you're taking money away from the business off top before you had a chance to make your first dollar, because they say oftentimes you don't even make your first dollar until you're 8. At that time, you're just really kind of spinning. You're getting ready to pay that money back. And that's why reparations is not a loan. You know what I'm saying? A loan is a loan. Reparations is reparations. That's money owed. They're two different conversations.
Money owed.
Money owed. So that's why I say like, so, but until that day comes that we can get that, or our elders get that, you know, while we're right here on the business level and we're trying to get startups, make sure that people have what they absolutely need right now.
We absolutely need those, but
we do. And then people can have 30, 40 places that they can enjoy. Work hard, play hard.
All I know
you got to give people that play hard option, because if you worked hard, you want to play hard. You might not have went out of town, but you might want to be able to go on a date. Yeah. You might want to get cute for your boo. You know what I'm saying? Like get cute for your boo. Yeah, get cute for your boo. You know what I'm saying? You might want to be like, let me let you see why we
cute for myself.
Yeah, you know, and then you will see that people, that's when the joy come back, because you said it earlier, like, what's the inspiration? Where are people feeling inspired? And I feel like Kalamazoo is not setting not putting that fire under enough of us that we feel inspired. Like, our young people should feel inspired with we all should feel like, I can do it. I'm about to buy my third house. I'm about to buy my vacation property. Like, I feel like we should feel that inspiration from each other and feel encouraged that we can
make it genuine, not so that it's in competition. Oh, I got my second house. No, I got my second house.
Right, because when you talk to a lot of college students,
doing great.
And make it tangible. Like, don't be playing in people's faces and making them go to all of these programs and getting their social security number and applying for all these and doing all of this. Yeah, because you go through all this. Yeah, like when you say you're gonna get the money, make sure people get the money that they said they were gonna get. Make sure they actually get the loans or the grants that they're gonna do. Because grant money is only for nonprofits. Like, let people stop lying to you, saying, oh, it's a for-profit, but it's a grant. It's not. They're wasting their time. There's a 503(b)(c). That's a different situation where you're part 501(c)(3), and then there's a 501(b)(3). So you have that, you have a little bit of difference in that, but like, be for real and be like, you are a business. You are LLC, a S corp, a C corp. Like, you're just a business. And with this business, you're gonna pay this loan back. Yeah. And making sure that everybody's in place, making sure that you protect your assets, your growth and development of your business, making sure that you have a retirement plan, making sure that you have an exit plan. Making sure that you have all of those. You do, like, don't play games with it. Make sure that your business is not going to go out of business because the owner is not there anymore. Right. Making sure that you can hire 12, 13 people in your office, you know, or whatever your business is, and actually, like, have businesses. Like I said, there are a lot of businesses that are for sale. They're already ready to go. Let people get experience in these things and let them be able to thrive. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard, but it is hard. Like, right. If you buy, because you could buy a bakery already that's a bakery. Like, buy a bakery that's already been established for the last 25 years. The owner wants to sell it. Buy that bakery. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Versus starting your own bakery from scratch.
You need to think about cars, though. Like, buy one that's gently used first, get adjusted, and then go to your favorite brand new or whatever you want it most.
And enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Because from that one bakery, maybe buy a second bakery. You know, or maybe you done bought 4 bakeries at this particular time. Now you want to franchise it out and you want to create your own name behind it. But let it make you make money. Like, buy businesses that actually are like essential. Like, one thing COVID showed me was buying essential businesses. Is your business something that is needed versus just something that you want? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's trendy.
Yeah, like, make sure that
longevity.
Like, because if you're selling medical equipment, that's a need. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you're definitely versus like
jewelry.
You know, jewelry is a lucrative, you know, wedding rings. Like, I'm not saying don't find your, I'm not saying don't find your love, find your art, but definitely try to find businesses that are needed. Like I said, buy a tool and die business, buy a construction company, buy a landscaping business, buy businesses that people are actually needed. I don't guess you really need, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might need, some people do need landscaping, just period, point blank. Like, tree, you know, you might need to buy a lumber company. You might need to buy these type of businesses. You might need to buy,
oh yes, we must. They are ruining the natural habitats for our animals. We have to.
Yeah, so, you know, and then be so that you can do it in an ethical way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to kill every tree. Like China, like you said, they like take the tree up from the root and replant it. Like, there's different.
We all do. I don't understand how some people,
because it's cheaper.
People do.
People do it because it's cheaper. That's why they rebuild. That's why right now new construction is better than refurbished, because it's cheaper. But if you got the money, then now you got refurbish, boo.
I don't like how Kalamazoo is so money, but it's always doing so cheap stuff. Cheap. Like, you got that to make no cotton pickases. How about we do this? Look, how about we do this? How about we do quality versus quantity, because I'm quite sick.
Do we need all them trees?
Do we need all these buildings? Do we need all this stuff? Do we need all the?
We was talking about that the other day. Like, we don't have any historical monuments. All we have is temporary artifacts.
We just got downtown to go to, a downtown and
infrastructure. Like, it's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing monumental historically. Like, oh wow, this building's been here since 1960 something. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that anymore.
To put pride in it.
Everything some buildings like that, but it's not like our building.
No, because it's been remodeled. So it doesn't count anymore.
I mean, if you're gonna remodel it, that's okay. You know, my thing is when you tear down
you take the integrity from the building.
That's what I'm talking about. When they remodel it, it doesn't even look like the inside. It doesn't have the history, the fact they did it once have. It just looks like, oh, office cubicle. Colors are dull.
I definitely feel like I believe that we should refurbish. You know, before we, you know, I guess the word is like demolition, mature forest, because I've seen like a lot of the new houses that they built, and I think the one thing that I could say is that I was disappointed that I don't see yards in these new houses. How do you expect a family, a parent? That's what I said again. People make me think about like who's making these decisions when you build a house and you don't have a yard, you don't have a front yard, you don't have a backyard. If you are a person buying a home and you got kids, you're gonna want your child to have a yard so they could kick a ball in the front yard, have a swing set. I remember the coolest families, my phone died. They would have the coolest families that they had swing sets in their yards. And like, why would you sell a house to someone where there is no yard? You know, I looked on the north side and I was like, why is there not a front yard? Why is it not somewhere where people can let their kids learn how to walk in the grass with their bare feet in their yard? Like, they got like a little bit of like this little, like almost like an apartment level of like space. That's not a home. Would you buy a home for X amount of dollars and it doesn't have a yard? And I don't think most people do. I don't think most people would, because the people who are designing these are going back to their home that got acres. You know what I'm saying? Like you're driving a half a mile to get to your home on your acreage, and yet you're building a house that doesn't even have a front or a backyard. All you have is a concrete slab and
a small piece of porch.
A small piece of porch, and you got a garage. Like, but your home is supposed to have a front and a backyard, and you're supposed to have brick and mortar. You're supposed to have steel inside of your home. You're supposed to have concrete in your home. Like, you're supposed to be able to make sure if you're gonna buy a trailer, buy a trailer.
Right.
Don't put up the cheapest, quickest. And again, many of our Black community members are helping building these things.
Exactly.
Like, don't give us bad quality because we're Black, and because you try to do things cheaply to us, yet you're very expensive when you sell it back to us, knowing we are at the mercy of most people are at the mercy of their jobs. You know, like, yeah. And if their job decides to fire them because they have a different political view or something like that is blackmail and coercion. Like, what if you don't agree with me, you could just get it is like, if you don't agree with me, my job is gone. So a lot of people are living and kind of afraid to speak, to be truthful, or be honest about themselves, because they're worried about the employer might fire them, and then what are they going to do for themselves? I remember when I left Kalamazoo to move, the second time I moved out of Kalamazoo, it was because I was like, I make a certain amount of money here that I will not be able to make anymore unless I did a certain type of job that I really didn't want to do. And so I was like, I gotta leave Kalamazoo in order to maintain the comfort of income I was making.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I didn't do what my boss told me to do, then where would I go from here? That is scary.
Exactly.
And I was
controlling your life.
Yup. And thankfully I didn't have, at that time it was just me, and I could make that decision to uproot myself. But that is not okay. Like, and I understand families like, I can't lose my job, because where am I gonna go? Especially if they think that, especially if they make it $25 an hour, $30 an hour, like they really scared that. Yeah, where are you gonna go from here? It's hard to find a different area. Where are you gonna move around to? Only thing I can say is be very conscious of your investments. And not just invest, like your asset protections, making sure that you have retirement plans, making sure that you have insurance is like, because there's ways that you can kind of give yourself a little bit of cushion, and that you got an emergency fund. You got a year that you can live off of. They say 6 months safely, 3 months safely, that you can live off of. All your bills are paid before you can move to the next level. And how many people actually have that 3 to 6 month emergency fund? Like, do I have it for me? I got it. And I'm also in a position that is easier for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely live a very humble life. Yeah. Like what they say, like the paid off. You know what I'm saying? Amen. And I remember when there was another time in my life, in my career, where it was like, if you don't do this, you'll be fired. And I chose not to do it, and I was fired. Where thank God I had lived the life that I live, that I was able to be okay in between that time that I had to find new employment. But that is scary, especially when you're the breadwinner of your household. Ooh, so to know that, like, I could lose everything because I don't do this to someone else, because they need to know they could trust me to do this, to do the dirty work for them. And I wasn't, and I did it. And again, I thank God for it, because I'm still here. I'm still in a position. I'm still okay. I'm still able to do, I'm still good. But, and like I said, plus in the industry that I'm in, it don't take me but a day. Like, I get the right phone call, I get the right email, I have the right meeting. Like, I can live, I could never have to work a day again off of one call, because of the industry that I'm in. Like, I know that on a daily day basis. Like, I've sat down and I've had these conversations. So for me, it's a little bit different because of the industry that I'm in. But for a lot of people who don't, I mean, I'm a financial professional. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an insurance broker, I'm an agent, like I do retirement planning, like I'm health insurance, like my volumes, like there's just I know my situation's a little bit different. Right. And I say it gracefully from God, and thank God, and I'm humble, but I also have to work hard to get it. Like, I got to get my education, I maintain my licensing, I maintain my education, my continued education. Like, I got to do my part too. Yeah, I got to do my part to maintain what I do. But I definitely see people who have to go to work every day, and they may love their job or may not love their job. It makes it a little bit easier when you love your job. But if you don't, and you're depending on this for your retirement, and you're depending on this for your next step in life, that is definitely a situation where you want to have 3 months, 6 months of an emergency fund that will cover you, that you're okay in that meantime. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how a lot of people, I believe, end up not. It's that safety net. Yeah, like good to have that end up not backup support. That end up sometimes being unhoused because of that. Yeah. And I think sometimes medical reasons is a big one. People miss time from work. Their job decide that they're not going to maintain or work with them, or they didn't have the proper insurance. They can lose everything that way. So medically, it happens. Jobs happen. Most of the time people don't. Most of the time people don't just throw it all away. But when bad things happen, then sometimes people do find vices, because it's hard for them to pick themselves up, and especially in the area where it's hard to, where can I go and make $30 an hour again? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, if I worked for such and such company and I can't make 30 an hour, and I can't go to their competition, or maybe they didn't have no competition, or maybe I had the highest role that was there, that might be hard.
You went from 30 to 16. Like, that's a big
maintaining, and
yeah. And now you got expenses, and you got expensive lifestyle too. Okay, thank you. And you got expensive lifestyle. You don't bought the $500,000 house. You don't bought a brand new Jag. You don't filled your house up with brand new furniture. You don't bought the latest greatest appliances. You got every technology ever. Makes a difference.
They do say Japan technology was advanced.
Bill, I'm gonna say thank you, Bill. Thank you for bringing me back in the studio. Thank you to Jalayna and Jaleah. Bill told us a half an hour ago we've been done with this show. But I want to say God bless the citizens of Kalamazoo. And the one thing I can say is, please get out here and apply for these jobs. Yes, please apply. Yeah, please apply for that's my call to action, is please apply for some of these positions. Like, make us be known in the building. Like, stop letting us be ignored, right, and by people who don't. Go vote. Yeah, vote. Making sure that we do get out and do that. Yeah, we do those things, and love. Like, Kalamazoo is about love, community, family, fun. We cool. Like, we some of the coolest people you ever meet. Cool. Like, yeah, like if you ain't seeing cool people and they not from Kalamazoo, like, don't let the name fool you. Like, we are some of the livest bunches ever. So
thank you, Arlena, for having us and coming back.
Thank you. So honored to be here on your last episode.
Yes.
Hopefully to be continued, or this is the last one, you cutting
it? To be continued later on. Like, let me just take care of my people. Let me work hard and serve my people, one person at a time. Serve, let me serve.
You gotta get above the program.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta take care. I gotta take care of the next six. The next 6 months of emergency fund. Yeah. I gotta make sure the emergency funds so that I can maybe be, not so I can maybe, so that I can be a blessing.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that I want to be able to spend. I would love to be able to bring people into this industry.
Right.
I would love to be able to be in a position where I can be more actively involved in the community, where I can donate more, donate my time, my energy, my services. I'm always donating myself. Like I don't, people might not see me on boards and different things like that. Like I don't do it.
They really should.
Because a lot of it, I just am not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got, yeah. I mean,
it can happen in a good way, in a great way.
I only because I often say no.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the right board for the right reason, I'll get behind it. You know, sure.
Make Kalamazoo great again.
I don't do it just because I want to try to make a name for myself, or I want to get like, look at my titles. If you check my resume, you check my background, this is already there. I don't already earn my years of what I've done for the community, and I just never. I've been doing it.
Been solidified.
I just don't talk about it. I just do it privately. If you've experienced me and been in my life, then you'll see that I do what I say, and then I'm back out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I don't have to do it for the clout, because I'm not clouty. Like I was cool in high school. Like I didn't have to wait until I didn't have to wait until I became an adult, and it's okay to do that.
It's not about your opinion, it's about what's real.
Yeah, but I've been a confident person since a long time ago. God has been blessed me to have the confidence that I have, and like I said, in a humble way. But I don't do it because I'm trying to make a name for myself. I don't do it because I was a kid in school who was rejected. I always tried to be a good citizen. I always tried to help myself. Yeah, I always tried to be I always had a heart to serve. You know, I was doing things as a kid, like in elementary school, middle school. Again, the Boys and Girls Club exposed me to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm strong and able-bodied. Let me donate it. I learned a lot. I donated my time in nursing homes. I was around elders and seniors. I just had a lot of experience. So I guess that's what the Boys and Girls Club offered a lot to me. If I didn't have it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a lot of mentors, a lot of great people in my life. God gave me a lot of talent and skills. I've always been a good athlete. I've always been fast and strong and could do these things. That was of God. Having the parents that I had to be able to financially support everything I did and be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like my daddy was definitely, my mom and daddy, they took me to everything. Like we didn't miss.
We didn't
miss. Carpool everywhere. Yeah. Yes. And so I'm grateful and thankful for that, because I had, what they say, much given, much is expected. And I know that the Lord has blessed me with so many people in my life, a lot of mentors, a lot of leaders, a lot of big sisters, a lot of coaches, a lot of counselors, just a lot of people just being themselves, like a lot of neighbors who just were amazing neighbors that I realized, like, you put a really great impact in my life. And I definitely like love people for that. And I've had a very great diversity. I work with some of all cultures. I have all great respect, but don't disrespect ours.
Yes.
Because we about that life. We about those people. So I want Kalamazoo to be its best version of itself, and I want Kalamazoo to feel encouraged and confident, and I want Kalamazoo to find its way back to safety.
Yeah.
Like I want Kalamazoo to be a safe place again, where people don't have to worry about danger, violence, gun violence, robberies. Accidents should just be accidents.
Yeah, natural.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's it. Yeah.
No meditation.
Yep. And the people who think that they're gonna bring that here be like, dawg, we don't do that around here, shawty. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't take that somewhere else. Kalamazoo.
We don't drink and drive.
Let it be natural.
It's just not natural.
Kalamazoo is natural.
Yeah. So
natural.
That's why, and thank you girls for being willing to be a guest on my show, giving me such great interviews, asking all these amazing questions, and sharing your great minds. Like I want people to respect our youth. I want people to know that our youth you all are the future. Like thank God for the future. Like I want us to respect our youth too, because we want to get respect from the youth. We must give it back.
Yeah.
And
vice versa.
Yeah, and to understand that there are some amazing youth doing some amazing things, and we should highlight that, and not only focus on the few that maybe have fell by the wayside, and not forget that there's youthful indiscretions. Young people are gonna make mistakes. I was 20, I made mistakes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever forget and act like you ain't never been 20. And if you've never been 20, you should not have a position of power. If you never was 20 years old and never I mean, there are some people who just always walk the straight and narrow, but don't all of a sudden be that.
Parking ticket before.
You know what I'm saying? But don't be that way because because you were rejected.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no Pinky in the Brain. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying, Batman and Robin. Like, I don't need people to be like, you know what I'm saying, the villain. Like they have a villainous mentality because they had a rough growing up. That now I'm gonna be malicious. Like, don't. We don't want that. Like,
we don't need that.
Yeah, so be great.
Be love, be peace.
Yes, and go work on that before you try to apply for these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Work on that mentality.
Yeah, and let somebody else who had good customer service be in front of the people.
Thank you. That's all we're asking.
And we want you to be for the people.
So y'all got any last? I said that we almost in 2 hours. Bill's been blessed and patient with us. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, we covered it.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
for the most part.
You said what happened?
For the most part.
I mean, we talked about a lot, and thank you. You guys like showed the world like my baby girls is brilliant.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
This was very nice. This is very informative.
I'm so glad. I had
very persuasive.
Okay, too, because this is really
and entertaining.
This is reminiscing. Like, y'all remember I raised y'all in these studios. Don't get it. I'm not just talking what this is
a full circle moment.
I'm not just love pieces. So yeah, I remember the shows. You know what I'm saying? So no, like this is real. Like if anybody know me, know that know that this is not fake. I am not a thing, but not fake.
Okay, never.
No,
nothing else.
Such a big heart.
Yeah. Thank you.
I try to be. Thank you, Arlena.
I'll be back in a couple months after a little
while. All right. Spoiler alert announcement.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Thank you to the Public Media Network.
Thank you.
God bless each and everybody who's taking the time to watch this. I hope this show was a blessing to you and that you watched some of my old episodes. That the information I was given, iron sharpens iron. I hope that there has been some positive information that was provided in this in throughout this episode and others that can help the community. Food for thought.
Reach one, teach one.
Yeah, truly.
Go out.
So where can we watch some of these videos?
You can see them on YouTube. You can see them on the Public Media Network. I share some I share them on my Facebook